Hi everybody, this is Agnes from Sediment, and for the past 15 years I have been a professional sommelier. And today we are going to talk about the grape variety that is capable of producing long-lasting wines. Grape variety that almost single-handedly has been responsible for some of the most expensive wines of the world. The grape variety that has been grown in almost every high-quality red winemaking region, Cabernet Sauvignon. Cabernet Sauvignon is a grape variety known to produce small berries with thick skins, relatively high acidity, and is rich in tannins. Because of the thick skins, it tends to produce deeply colored wines that in their youth often show violet or even bluish color. The best wines of Cabernet Sauvignon are usually highly structured, rich and full in body, and often tight at young age. It is a grape that more often than not is blended with other grape varieties, especially that of Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and Petit Verdot, and this blend often is called the Bordeaux blend. Cabernet Sauvignon is an old grape variety, yet it is unique because we know quite a lot about its history. No one really fights about its origin, which is believed to be France, and we know both of its parents, which are very much current and definitely not extinct grape varieties. That's right, Cabernet Sauvignon is a crossing of white aromatic grape Sauvignon Blanc and hugely underrated red grape Cabernet Franc. Though most wine professionals would agree that Cabernet Sauvignon does have a linking character throughout its wines, it can actually be quite versatile and capable of expressing its origin. In warm climates, it produces well-structured red wines with mouth-watering acidity and firm tannins. From sunnier and drier climates, it will show riper and darker fruit flavors, such as that of plums, cherries, and especially cassis. While grown in cooler areas, it might show notes of capsicum, leafy freshness, and even mint or eucalyptus. In Europe, principal home of Cabernet Sauvignon is no doubt Bordeaux, more precisely the left bank of River Gironde, where appellations such as Margaux, Pauillac, and St-Julien already are brands on their own. Here, it will usually be blended with Merlot, which adds flashy fruit and body. It might even be blended with Cabernet Franc, which to me seems to add perfume-like complexity that lifts the aroma. And some might even season Cabernet Sauvignon with a little bit of Petit Verdot, which, as noted by winemakers of Bordeaux, brings out the best of other grapes. And by the way, if you find this video useful, I would really appreciate if you clicked subscribe and like buttons, as it helps to spread these videos and allows me to bring you better content. Outside of France, in Europe, Cabernet Sauvignon is also grown in Italy, more specifically in Tuscan's coastal region, Maremma, where it is often blended with other international as well as local grapes. In Spain, it can be found in Penedès and Navarra, where it is responsible for rich, dense and full-bodied red wines. It is also widely planted in New World countries. In Australia, its classical home is considered to be Coonawarra and Margaret River, and it has even found its way into one of the most famous Australian red wines, Penfolds Grange. It is also principal grape of Maipo in Chile, and despite the fact that this is relatively warm climate, these wines tend to highlight that pyrazine-like herbaceousness on the nose. And we simply cannot forget about some of the most famous and loudest names of Cabernet Sauvignon, those of Napa. Here, Cabernet Sauvignon has found its home away from home. Because of the warmer climate, it is not necessary to blend this grape with flashier Merlot. Therefore, monovarietal Cabernet Sauvignon is more common here. Napa Cabernet tends to have an ambitious style, being rich, opulent, highly extracted, dark red wine with ripe black fruit weight on the palate. Cabernet Sauvignon and its blends tend to feel very well in oak barrels, both French and American. and most age-worthy Cabernet Sauvignon wines will be aged at least partially in new oak barrels. It tends to give some spicy flavors on the nose, such as cinnamon and clove, and it also helps to rounder and soften the tannin structure of the grape. When it comes to food pairing, Cabernet Sauvignon is perfect for different red meat dishes, especially medium cooked steak on open fire. Its tannin profile and lively acidity would complement the dish perfectly. I would also choose it for game meat and slowly cooked leg of lamb. But it is not only wine for carnivores. Picture long-aged, hard cheeses with pungent aroma. Cabernet Sauvignon will deal with them, not allowing to be overpowered. Or rich mushroom dishes with lots of flavors. Cabernet Sauvignon and its blends will be perfect for them. As I mentioned before, some of the most famous and best examples of Cabernet Sauvignon come from Napa Valley. Here is the video directly from Napa.